To properly understand General Radahn, we need to understand his context, because the game spends a lot of time to make sure that you know that Radahn is a big deal. In fact, you were supposed to know that Radahn was a big deal even before the game released. The Elden Ring story trailer came out about 2 months before the full game, and in it, it's revealed that he's among the 2 strongest, the Conqueror of the Stars. Radahn is a scary, Ganondorf-looking boy, and in the full game that idea is heavily reinforced. Most NPC interactions related to him make it clear that Radahn was widely considered strongest amongst all the demigods. As you're exploring Caelid, you might pick up a piece of loot from some of the soldiers in the area. These soldiers are the Redmanes, Radahn's personal army, and the armor lets you know that they were worthy of their title. The Radahn soldier ashes read, General Radahn's soldiers were all reputed to be masterful warriors, and it was popularly said that the Redmanes knew no weakness. When Radahn fell to the Scarlet Rot, his army chose to remain, to stave off the blight with fire. The Redmanes were badasses, and they were led by the biggest badass of all, General Radahn, Conqueror of the Stars. Now as you proceed to the game, many NPCs will hint and guide you towards a festival of war located at Redmane Castle. And when you arrive at the festival, there are no soldiers there to attack you. Instead, you're greeted by a song, sung in unison, presumably by the soldiers of the castle. But it's not festival music, it's a solemn song, sounding almost like a dirge. In the courtyard you are welcomed to the festival, and revealed that you will be fighting General Radahn himself.
Champions! Welcome! The stars have aligned! The festival is nigh! General Radahn, mightiest demigod of the Shattering, awaits you! Champions, prepare for battle! Defeat the General, claim glory, and grab that great rune! A celebration of war! The Radahn Festival!
It is further revealed that Radahn is a far cry from how he used to be. The Scarlet Rot has eaten him away, leaving him degraded and bestial. This festival then, inviting warriors from across the lands between to face General Radahn in battle, is organized by the castle crier and the soldiers of Redmane Castle, so that Radahn would no longer have to be further degraded, so that he could die an honorable death. In the official soundtrack, the song sung in Redmane Castle is known as the Song of Honor. Finally, after all the presentation, you can start the battle proper. And it turns out to be one of the most unique and impressive boss battles that From Software has ever made. Radahn begins the battle at a distance, firing fast-moving gravity arrows at the player. The battlefield will be littered with summon signs, the signs of all the warriors who attended the festival. You can summon them, and they'll charge the field heading straight for Radahn. When I realized this among the first few times I fought Radahn, I thought it was amazing. Dodging gravity arrows left and right while frantically trying to pick up summon signs, and then watching those summons storm the field, charging right up to Radahn, was amazing. Everything about the presentation was done beautifully. The spectacle of it, the music playing in the background, the lore of him being noble and mighty, and now being degraded, and even degraded as he is, still a significant challenge for you and all the Phantoms. Though you have him outnumbered, it sure didn't feel like it. And the cherry on top of all of it was that, even apart from the spectacle, Radahn mechanically was an excellent boss fight. At first glance, his moves seem rapid and unending, but in fact it's just the opposite. General Radahn has some of the slowest and most telegraphed attacks of any boss from any Souls game. A lot of his moves have a wind-up so large that you have enough time to heal by drinking a flask and still dodge out of the way for the next attack. He is a consistent and predictable boss, but he also does enough damage to ensure that he's still a threat for most players. And his HP is high enough that this fight won't be over quickly. And a combination of all those factors forces people into the dance. What's the dance? The dance is that thing that happens in some boss fights, where you have to learn at least some of the boss's moveset, where you have to get a sense for the rhythm of their attacks. A lot of the times you can outstat a boss, because either your damage is so high that the fight is over quickly, or their damage is so low that they don't pose enough of a threat for you to know anything about their attacks. You can just tank them. But Radahn is in a place in the game where most people are not going to be able to outstat him. And so most characters, especially melee characters, are simply going to have to engage with the dance. It's almost unavoidable. If you're going to engage with Radahn in melee, you are going to dance with Radahn, and he demands that you at least know some of the steps. I loved this fight. From presentation to mechanics, there was nothing I didn't like about it. Especially because, in the first time for a long time, Radahn made me go respect my character and change the way I was playing to deal with him better. I had to pump vigor, you understand. I haven't had to do something like that, pumping vigor and changing my strategy in a Souls game, in like 10 years. I loved the presentation. I loved the boss fight. I loved the music. I loved the rhythm and the mechanics of a melee engagement. And after it was all said and done, and I looked into his lore, his item descriptions, it's revealed that the reason that he even started studying gravity magic in the first place was so that he wouldn't have to abandon his loyal but scrawny horse, Leonard. This man is using gravity magic to reduce his weight and not crush his horse. And he's still doing it even after having lost his mind to the Scarlet Rot. And so for all of this, the presentation, the spectacle, the mechanics, the boss fight, the music, and the lore, Star Scourge Radahn is now entering my personal pantheon of favorite From Software bosses. And that's the end of this video. As always, thank you very much for watching.